What's My Line? Brought to you by Kellogg's. Kellogg's Cereals. The best to you each morning from Kellogg's of Battle Creek. Now let's all play What's My Line?
And now, live from New York, let's meet our What's My Line panel. First, the popular columnist whose voice of Broadway appears in papers coast to coast, Miss Dorothy Kilgallen.
And on my left, one of the nicest and one of the best game players I know, Morton Gabel.
Thank you, Dorothy. The modesty of the girl on my left has prompted her to ask me to eliminate any fulsome adjectives. So here is the shy Arlene Francis.
And now the Count of Monte Cristo, who is spending most of his time counting the sales of his very funny new book called Riddle-Dee-Dee, Mr. Bennett, Cerf.
A rather startling piece of news came over the wires today. This spaceship that we sent up, Mariner 2, to go all the way up to Venus and circle it, ran into a meteor on the way. But after being deflected, they got it back on its course. Astounding piece of news. It reminded me that on this show, we run into a meteor every Sunday night. And I'd like you to meteor him right now. It's John Charles Daly.
Barely possible we won't survive the next half hour. Well, good evening, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to What's My Line. Martin Gabel, it's nice to have you back on the panel, sir. And I think we ought to have something to honor the event of your return, so I have some good news for you. You will be putting blindfolds on for the first of our challenges tonight, and you can get ready for it. We'll also have a famous mystery guest before the panel a little bit later in the program, and we'll meet our first challenger after this. All right, panel, as I told you, we would require that you have blindfolds on for our first challenger. The blindfolds are all in place, are they?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
In that event, I would ask our first challenger to enter and sign in, please. All right, are you familiar with our scorekeeping system?
Vaguely.
All right. I think actually it's very simple. Every time you can give them a no answer, why, we'll flip a card, 10 no's, 10 flips, and you've won the game, and I trust that you win it. And now we'll let our audience in the theater and those who are watching at home know exactly what your line is. All right. Panel, I'm happy to tell you that our guest is self-employed and salaried and deals in a service. And let's begin the general questioning with Dorothy Kilgallen.
Do people ever pay to see you do what you do for a living?
Occasionally.
Do you do it indoors?
Yes.
Is it in any sense a sport?
No, it is not.
1 down and 9 to go, Mr. Gabel.
Have you anything to do with either the federal or state governments?
No, I do not.
2 down and 8 to go, Miss Francis.
Has your name or picture been in the papers in the last couple of weeks?
Yes.
Is it a name recognizable to anyone in the art world? I don't mean just painting, I mean all the allied arts.
I would think so.
You would think so?
Yes.
I would concur in that.
Are you a person behind the scenes rather than a performer yourself?
Small conference.
Doesn't know whether he's back or front.
I think basically I would say yes.
Would you be considered an associate in the world of pictures?
No, I would not.
3 down and 7 to go, Mr. Cerf.
Would you have established your reputation either the fields of literature or architecture?
No.
4 down and 6 to go, Miss Kilgallen.
How about music?
How about it? What's the question?
Is your chief connection with fame your connection through music?
I kind of accept the word fame, but my connection is with music.
Well, would you accept the word well-known, successful?
Distinguished reputation,
Distinguished
yes.
reputation? Are you Leonard Bernstein?
I'm his friend.
5 down and 5 to
He
go.
has a friend, you know.
Are you, too, a conductor?
No, I'm not.
6 down and 4 to go, Miss Francis.
Does the Metropolitan Opera House mean something special to you?
It certainly does.
Would you be Mr. Bing?
I'm his friend.
7 down and 3 to go, Mr. Cerf.
Everybody's friend, this fella.
Have you ever sung on the stage of the Metropolitan?
Often wished to, never been invited.
8 down and 2 to go, Miss Kilgallen.
I pass.
Well, that's nice. Do you do your performing infrequently?
Let me say this, Martin. It has been elicited that performance as such is not a...
Well, the
an
gentleman
action
said
to
that
be
people
ascribed.
did pay to come to see him in response to a question from Dorothy.
Well, I think here it was answered in a very general sense, but it has also been elicited that our guest is not a performer.
Have you anything to do with the new Lincoln Center?
A great deal.
Are you an official of the Lincoln Center?
I'm sorry I didn't hear the question.
Are you a managing director or one of the managing directors of the new Lincoln Center?
You'd have to rephrase the question, but there's a certain element of truth in it.
We are all seeking truth here, sir.
May we have a conference?
You may have 20 seconds for a conference.
Maybe Martin doesn't want one. Maybe
Yes,
no.
I do.
I think it sounds rather like a Rockefeller. Does it to you?
Are you Lawrence Rockefeller?
No, I am not.
9 down and 1
Is he your friend?
Miss Francis?
Well, now, since you are friendly with and care about the Metropolitan Opera Company and Lincoln Center, have you ever been associated in some way with the City Center?
No, I never have.
That's 10 down and none to go.
May I take one?
Morris.
Is
Yes.
it Mr. Schuman?
Yes, you're right, sir. Mr. William Schuman, who is not only, and Martin, I must give you 98 because you came very close. It was a matter really of semantics, not managing director, but president of the Lincoln Center of Performing Arts.
Thank you, John. I appreciate your kindness as
And
always.
I was just hoping that when we said it, maybe you'd come back with president, you know.
Waiting for my turn. I was trying to be polite.
Well, you should all be proud of yourselves because it was a difficult one to get. Now, needless to say, we all know that Mr. William Schuman is also one of the most distinguished composers on the current scene, not only the American scene, but the entire scene. You got a Pulitzer Prize, if memory serves me right,
Yes, I do.
back in 1940.
43. I remember the date it so happens.
1943.
Your memory serves you right, John, because you looked it up just before you
I
came
look
on
well,
the
but still, I'm getting old, you know, and I don't think they stay with me very well. But I'm happy, too, for you, sir, that your 8th Symphony is to be performed this coming Thursday at
That is correct, yes.
the new Philharmonic Hall. So we have in our guest tonight not only the composer of the principal work on Thursday night in the Philharmonic Hall, but also the man who runs the place, or runs the joint, as we'd say in the idiom. Congratulations on a wonderful career. He ran the Juilliard School of Music, and I think perhaps had more fun, or most fun, in his career when he was teaching at Sarah Lawrence. Would that be right, sir?
It's a great time.
That was a great time, I'll bet. Thank you for giving us some of your precious time. It's nice to have you on What's My Line. All right, now let's meet our next challenger. Will you enter and sign in, please? Anita Macmillan, right? Is that Miss or Mrs. Macmillan? Miss Macmillan, where are you from?
Chicago.
Chicago. Nice to have you with us. May I present our panel, Miss Macmillan? And now would you join me over here, please? You familiar with our scorekeeping system?
Yes, I am.
All right, in that event, we'll let the audience in the theater and the audience at home know exactly what your line is. All right. Panel, Miss Macmillan is salaried and deals in a product. And let's begin the general questioning with Bennett Cerf.
Miss McMillan, that hairdo is rather startling. I presume it has nothing to do with the product that you are concerned with.
No, it
May
doesn't.
I take that for granted?
Yes.
Is the product that you deal in one that is used by human beings?
Yes, it is.
Is it used by members of both sexes?
Yes.
Equally, would you say?
Yes.
Is it a product that they would use in their daily lives?
Yes.
Is it a product that might be found in the home?
Yes, it would.
Would it generally be found in one particular room of the home?
You mean for purposes of
In general use, might it generally be found in one particular room rather than anywhere in the house? In general.
Well, I would say it would be restricted. I think we could agree to that, don't you, Miss Macmillan? It would be restricted to one particular area of the house and would not necessarily be found in every room of the house, yes.
Might it usually be found in either the kitchen or the bathroom in the utilitarian part of the house?
No. A small conference. We want to be perfectly fair.
Sure,
the question was a very broad one. And we will admit that in the determination as to whether it would be found in either the kitchen or the bathroom, we would have to answer yes.
Yes. Well, that doesn't seem to help much at all. Is this a product that you can hold in your hand?
Yes, you could.
Is it one that is available in stores to be bought?
In stores?
Yes.
Yes.
Does it come in a package?
Sometimes.
Well, this gets a little difficult. Let us say that it is in a container, and we will agree that it's in a container. It might sometimes come in a package, too.
Is it consumable?
Yes.
Is it eaten?
No.
1 down and 9 to go, Miss Kilgallen.
Well, is it consumed internally by the human being? Yes. Is it therefore drinkable? Yes. Does it have any alcoholic content? Yes.
And it's not found in every room of the house?
Would your product perhaps be beer? No.
2 down and 8 to go, Mr. Gabel.
Does it have a medicinal purpose?
Well, in the very general sense that very often those who like to indulge in it ascribe certain medical qualities which are not necessarily provable.
Does it come into the category of what is known as hard liquids?
No.
3 down and 7 to go, Miss Francis.
By that, do you mean it has no alcoholic content?
Oh, no, it has alcoholic content,
But
it
not a
isn't-
hard alcoholic content?
But not a hard out. It's soft. You can chew it.
I see. Would it be something that one might enjoy with one's meals?
Yes.
Is it anything in the wine family?
Yes.
Is it a bubbly?
Could be.
Could be.
It could be. Well, then it isn't champagne, because if that isn't bubbly, then it ain't champagne.
Well, it could be. No, we said it could be. Actually, I think we have to admit now that the product has been arrived at. But now your problem is to discover what it is that Miss Macmillan has to do with the product.
She jumps on a grape.
For her own happiness, I hope she's a taster.
Well, is that your question?
Yes, that's
wonderful. 4 down and 6 to go, Mr. Cerf.
Do you have more to do with the manufacture of this product than you do with the vending of it, Miss McMillan?
No.
5 down and 5 to go, Miss Kilgallen.
You are a wine sales lady? No.
6 down and 4 to go, Mr. Gabel.
Do you package the wine?
No, I don't.
7 down and 3 to go, Miss Frances.
I don't know. Is she Miss May Wine?
8 down and 2 to go, Mr.
Do you have
Sir.
anything whatever to do with publicity or with demonstrating the wonderful qualities of the wines or going to conventions and saying...
9 down and 1 to go, Miss Kilgallen.
What is there in wine besides grapes?
Well, it was established... Oh, sorry, John.
She has something to do
Well,
with selling.
You're going to have 20 seconds for a conference.
Bennett established that she had nothing much to do with the manufacturing of it, was
Yes.
this question?
More with the vending.
More with the vending.
She's a wine? She's a
Well, do you
wino.
do advertising or promotion?
10 down and
No,
then
she's
to
a
go.
bartender at a wine house. What is she, John?
What is the most obvious one that you've missed simply because Miss McMillan is a female and not
A
a male?
bartender.
Sommelier.
A sommelier.
A wine steward, right. Actually, it's the sommelier, the wine steward at
Never
the...
saw a lady wine steward.
I haven't either. Must have been at the Alabama. Is that?
Club Alabama.
Club Alabama in Chicago. Been doing it for a year and a half and was trained by her predecessor, I would take it, wouldn't it?
What is
The
she
man you're
called?
working by Mr. Cutter.
Wear one of
She
those
is
things
so-
around your
And
neck?
wears the sommelier's chain,
She's
yes.
a sommelier.
No, it's evidently it's a word that has no feminine, so you just do it as Madame Sommelier.
Are
So
you an
there you are.
expert in wines?
I hope I am. I try to be.
She is at the Alabama, honey.
Thank you very much, Mr. Bennett. It's nice to have had you with us and
With
What's My Line.
cornbone.
Thank you very much. We'll meet tonight's mystery guest in just a moment, but first, here is a word from our sponsor. And now we come to the special feature of our program, the appearance of our mystery celebrity, for which, once more, my friends on the panel are blindfolded. Are those blindfolds all in place, panel?
Back on.
John.
Good. Will you enter mystery challenger and sign in, please? All right, panel, as you know, in the case of our mystery challenger, we go to a different form of questioning. You ask one question at a time, in turn, moving clockwise. And let's begin with Arlene Francis.
Are you in the entertainment world?
Yes.
Mr. Cerf.
Are you in a play that is either on Broadway now or is about to come to the Broadway sector?
No.
1 down and 9 to go, Miss Kilgallen.
Are you known chiefly for your work in motion pictures? Maybe.
Mr. Gabel.
Are you a woman?
Maybe.
That's yes, Miss Francis.
I was going to say, that's the worst thing to be in doubt about I can think of. Have you ever appeared in nightclubs?
Yes.
Oh.
Mr. Cerf.
Are you a dancer?
No.
2 down and 8 to go, Miss Kilgallen.
Are you primarily a singer?
Yes.
Mr. Gabel.
Are you working in New York now?
Yes.
Miss Francis.
Well, one of the answers sounded like
There
there
more
was
than
more
one?
than one.
There
Are
are
you
more than
half
one.
man, half woman?
Yes.
Mr. Cerf.
Are you now appearing in a New York nightclub or hotel room?
Yes.
Are you Gordon and Sheila?
Yes.
It's so hard to
Gordon
fool.
and Sheila MacRae at the Empire Room of the Waldorf.
I thought Gordon was never coming in, or was one of those high voices Gordon.
Well, that was deliberate, I must say, Dorothy. We tried to get it settled in your minds that only Sheila was here, and then I told Gordon to get up high, but unfortunately, that wonderfully rich and glorious
We got up there
baritone
once,
of his
but he
won't-
couldn't stay
He
there.
couldn't stay up there.
Actually, he was Svengaling me, see, and giving all the answers.
We tried to fool you this time because
You're
the last time we
hard.
couldn't.
You're hard to fool.
Well, the nice thing is I read in the papers recently, because the Empire, as usual, they're always wonderful. But I read in the paper this week you're going to be busy doing a lot of television, a lot of things, besides, Sheila, raising a big, wonderful family of youngsters, whom I know, I'm happy to say. And it's wonderful to see that success continuing and growing all the time. And your husband never puts on any weight. That's what bothers me.
That's good.
I try not to, John.
Well, from all of us, thanks for coming over to see us, because I know you have a big work schedule every week, and I hope we can have you back again soon and fool them next time for sure.
Bye,
Nice
John.
to see you.
Thank you, John.
Well, you've done very well so far tonight, panel, and we'll have another contestant after this word from our alternate spot. And now to meet a final contestant. Will you enter and sign in, please? Michael? Kilkenny, right? Mike? If I may call you Mike, where are you from?
New York City.
Mike is from New York City. Panel, I also readily admit to you, because I think it's only fair, that Mike is a student, but he has an occupation which is helping him pay his way through school that we're interested in. May I present our panel, Mike? Now, will you join me over here? You know how we keep score? Yes. All right, fine. Then we'll let the audience in the theater and the audience at home know exactly what your line is. Panel, we're very short of time, and this is really a tricky little thing. What we're doing here is to see if you've got really good guesswork going tonight. We will tell you that Mike is salaried and deals in a product, and we'll begin with Martin Gabel.
Do you ride a bicycle in the course of your after-hours job?
No.
1 down and 9 to go, Miss Francis.
Is it a useful product?
Yes.
Product for both men and women?
Yes.
A product that one might find in the home?
Yes.
Might one carry this product oneself?
Yes.
Might one take it down the street if one happened to be so inclined?
Yes.
Might it be in the apparel world in any way?
No.
2 down and 8 to go, Mr. Cerf.
Might it be in the world of food or drink, Mr.
Yes.
Kilgallen? Well, I was wrong last time. I'm going to stick to food. Is it something to eat?
Yes.
Is it in any kind of a sandwich or roll, like a hero sandwich or something?
Yes.
It's close to it, Bennett. Actually, I'm going to flip the cards because I want to explain fully what it is. You were close to it, and I think you might have gotten it. Actually, what Mike does is to sell hot dogs at Yankee Stadium, and I thought you'd be there for the series, and you'd like to meet Mike. He works for the Stevens brothers. Mike, thank you very much. I'm sorry we didn't have more time, but it was nice to have you on What's My Line. Well, that was kind of fun. We just wanted to see if you had the World Series in the back of your minds, and we've had a lot of fun tonight. Martin, again, nice to have you with us, and good night, Miss Dorothy Kilgallen.
Good night, John. Good night, Martin. Come again soon.
Thank you. Arlene?
Martin.
Good night,
John, they love you in California. Good night.
Good, I hope so. That's my second state these days in California. You had a good trip, I trust? But you went out to San Francisco and ate nothing but fish. I knew there was always something fishy about you. I can do it, too. And good night, ladies and gentlemen, and thanks for being with us on What's My Line.
What's My Line is a CBS television network production in association with Mark Goodson and Bill Codman. This is Johnny Olson speaking.